Two old MEAC foes play one another once again, dating back to 1959 when they first started this rivalry against one another, being that this is their 58th time playing one another. Now, when these two teams played each other last season, the game was very tight. The winning team came out on top, 42-35. Now, the MEAC, as well as the Celebration Bowl champs, South Carolina State University, they're looking to come back and get this thing one more time this year, making this deja vu. But the million-dollar question is, do you think South Carolina State will get out of there with that win this upcoming weekend against Bethune Cookman? Let's get into it right after this. You know it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos and tap in the free two and tell them to come on in. There's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and tap on in this thing and get straight to it. Because I know you like, Coach, wait a minute. You going with South Carolina State and Bethune Cookman? What's really going on? Well, guys, listen. I told you guys, I'm gonna cover a lot of these different games, giving different perspectives on what I think is going to happen this upcoming season and some of these games across the board. And Bethune Cookman versus South Carolina State was something that a few of you out there actually asked for, like, hey, Coach, who do you think gonna win this game? And there's another game out there as well that I've been getting a lot of questions on as well. I'm gonna try to get that one out to you guys as well so we can see exactly which way things are gonna go this upcoming season, especially starting out now that you got the old foes playing one another again. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm sure both of these teams are going to be fired up because they both lost last week. And the question everybody's wanting to ask is, who do you think is going to win the first game of the season? Somebody's O in the win column got to go. So who's going to get that first W? Well, looking at both of these teams offensively, Bethune Cookman has Jackson State Tigers transfer quarterback Jalen Jones, as well as their transfer receiver and Cory Reed. They have some athletes over there on the offensive side of the ball with Riley, Avery, and Dylan Lee, who can get out there and they can get down with the best of them when it comes to their speed, hitting them corners. And you definitely know that they're going to try to stretch out that South Carolina State defense, making sure that they're able to do everything that they want to do when it comes to running those plays. And you also know they got Keyshawn Bird running that ball in the backfield, looking to have a breakout game, because last year when they played against South Carolina State, he didn't have that great of a game. He didn't have one of them big games that a lot of us has been waiting to see him have against a formidable 4 weeks game between Bethune Cookman and South Carolina State University. I'm looking at the matchups. I want to see if Everett is going to be able to get open from the standpoint of where they're going to have him lined up out there on the field. Now, I saw that they tried to do some funky stuff with him last week, where they were trying to throw bubble screens and things of that nature to him to see if it was going to get him open. One thing you got to understand is this young man's strength is with his shoulders being square, not turned to the left or turned to the right. Go facing east and west is not going to do him any good. He has to be facing north. North or south is the way he's got to go. Square them shoulders up and be able to go downhill on these athletes to get the necessary yards that he needs to get after the catch is made. So we're going to see how they're going to line him up game this upcoming weekend. Another thing to keep in mind when we're talking about the Bethune-Cookman's running game, the quarterback last year rushed the ball for 131 yards, while Keyshawn Bird, he rushed the ball 11 times for 30 yards with 1 touchdown. Now, Bethune-Cookman's defense would definitely need to step up this week, making sure that they hold Cory Fields in check back in that backfield, because we already know he will pull that ball down and take off if he doesn't see something he likes down the field to throw the ball to an open receiver. And you know Shaq Davis is going to be out there. Again, he's looking for mismatches as well to make sure he's able to take advantage of any and everything he possibly can to get that ball in his hands. You know this young man is electric when it comes to that ball being thrown out there. He will go up and get it and come down with it. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, you're looking at him take that bad boy to the house for a touchdown, or he's catching a back corner fade, toes down, touchdown, and everybody sitting there looking like, wait a minute, I can't believe he's done this again. Well, you know the big fella's, he's hungry and he want to eat. Not to mention, Cory Fields in that game last year against Bethune-Cookman, he threw the ball 30 times, completing 20 for 314 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, we already know Coach Pugh is going to be looking to run the ball against Bethune-Cookman, looking to wear that defensive front down. I stated before, Shaq Davis is going to do his thing. But Kendrell Flowers and the Bulldogs running back core, they're going to have to come out there and make sure they're able to do their thing as well to keep stretching that Bethune-Cookman's defense out, keeping them off balance, and hopefully getting them gassed, especially after playing that game against Miami last week. And I'm sure on the flip side of things, Bethune-Cookman is going to be looking to do the same thing to South Carolina State from the game that they played last week against the University of Central Florida. So we're going to see how everything is going to balance out between these two as far as the offense is going to go. Now, the Bulldogs defense will definitely be key as to whether or not they will come up with this victory, because Jablonski Green as well as Brandon Tucker, they're going to have to get out there and make sure that the South Carolina State defensive front is in that backfield, disrupting Jalen Jones from getting that ball down the field to those athletes on the Bethune-Cookman side of the ball, the Bethune-Cookman's offensive side of the ball. We already know that Jalen Jones is he's a big guy that's going to be in the backfield that doesn't have a problem with taking off and running the ball himself. So we're going to see how things are going to work out from a matchup standpoint, because we definitely know we got 2 quarterbacks out there that can be considered as dual threats when it comes to being in that backfield. If they don't see something they like when it comes to throwing that ball, they will pull it down and take off. And another thing is, who's going to make the most mistakes? Last week, we saw a lot of mistakes in the Bethune-Cookman versus Miami game, in which there was a lot of turnovers. The one thing that scares me about Bethune-Cookman in this game is not the offense, it's not the defense, special teams. I'm wondering which team, which group of 11 going to come out there on the field and make sure that they're able to hunker down and keep South Carolina State from breaking a kick return or punt return for a touchdown. That's the $1 million question I have there. Who's going to do it? And not only that, but in the trenches, y'all already know the trenches are going to be key. Last week as well, Bethune-Cookman was a little lethargic in the trenches, so I need to see what they're going to do. My heart wants to pick Bethune-Cookman to win this game. I'm telling you right now, I really feel that Jalen Jones can get this done against Coach Buddy Pugh and the South Carolina State Bulldogs. I think he can do it, but I'm wondering that special teams and that offensive line, what are they going to do? Because now it's going to be the time you're going to show up or show out based on whether or not what you're going to do in your prospective conferences based on what your offensive line can do for you. If your offensive line can't do anything for you, it's going to be tough sledding. My first thought is Bethune-Cookman should win this game 45-42. I think this is going to be a shootout between Jalen Jones and Caleb Flowers. I think it's going to be a shootout between those at the quarterback position, looking to see who's going to will their team on the victory. I got a strong feeling that Bethune-Cookman is going to pull a rabbit out the hat this time and get this W, because last year they didn't have as many targets. They had targets out there on the field, but they have more targets this time around than what they did last year. And I think with Cory Reed being added to the mix, as well as Jalen Jones being a true dual threat quarterback that can pull his ball down and take off, it's going to leave you questioning whether or not which team is going to get over the top with what they have. I believe Cory Fields can do it. I'm just trying to figure out, I got to make a call on this one. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with my head on this one and say Bethune-Cookman 42-35. I know South Carolina State, y'all like, come on, coach, you can't even give us a break. Nah, it's not that, guys. I honestly believe your defense is going to show up and show out. I think Jablonski Green is going to be that piece that's going to really set the tone. I already know you guys got the defensive backs there that's going to make sure everything is in place and keep, try to keep those receivers in check. There's no doubt about that at all. But I just got this eerie feeling that Jalen Jones is going to pull some type of rabbit out of his hat to show, hey, listen, he got something to prove. And I'm just going to ride with him on this one. I'm going to ride with him on this one. So, guys, y'all forgive Coach on this one. I know y'all sitting like, boo, y'all probably throwing stuff at the daggone TV screen right now. Don't act like that to us, Coach. I'm just saying, I honestly believe, I think Jalen Jones is going to pull a rabbit out the hat on this one. So, we're going to see. But like I said, I got this. It's like 49.9 and 50.1. Like, I want to say South Carolina. I want to say Bethune-Cookman. That's where I'm at. That's how close this thing is, because I'm like, the games have been close all the time. And not to mention, but South Carolina State leads the win total when it comes to these two teams playing against each other over the 50+ years that they've been playing, against one another. So predictions down below. Let me know who y'all think gonna win this game. Let's see let's see what's really going on here. Y'all talk to me. Tell me what's happening. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'll wait to see what you guys got to say when it comes down to who's gonna win this game. But guys, remember, until next time, be the one and lead.